In this video, I'm going to cover the parent component that invokes myAgeDisplay. The myAgeDisplay has defined props, and those values for those props should be passed by the parent component. And if you look at this is the markup or the HTML side of things, where I am using my age display here, and then I'm passing the label and number, which are the parameters expected by the UI. For example, if I go to the UI, so these things, these strings, years, months, they are passed as labels, and these values are passed at runtime. So now you have data binding here in place where number is bound to actual years rounded. So you have separate properties here that are calculated and then shown at runtime. So if you look at the script side of things, I have written a calculate method, and that calculate method actually gets the date of birth, and then that date of birth, based on the date of birth, there is a set interval which makes this method fire every 1 second because of this particular JavaScript method called set interval, and it's set to 1 second firing. So if I, for example, I stop this or comment this, what happens in my UI is you won't see the ticking effect. So that's the main advantage of having this fire every 1 second. And another important part is the request animation frame. So if you don't have this, it doesn't fire the calculate method. It's like a looping, and it requests for animating the screen and display the counter. For example, if you have this, now it's not looping because you don't have the um, handle. So the request animation frame, if so, you uncomment this and then it starts working fine. So those are some of the important things. The rest of the thing is all about logic here, where I find whether the date is greater than current date or month is greater than current date, and you do the necessary logic there. So most of it is logic with regard to these things, and then I then add it to the property, and that property gets bound to the UI. So that's the main part here. So most important things in this code is mainly the child component that passes the parameters or the arguments, and then the logic or the firing of this update method on a regular interval of 1 minute, 1 second, using the set interval JavaScript function, and then the request animation frame to loop this particular method in that given interval of 1 second. Every time that 1 second interval is passed, then this method is executed. So that those are the most important parts, and then you have a clear interval because you need to clear the interval from set interval so that there are no memory leaks, and then the execution stops. So that's one of the important things. So, and another important aspect is when you have um, get month. Get month is part of now.value.getMonth. So get month is index based, so I accounted for that in my logic. So for example, if 11, if index if get if month comes out as 11, that means it's December actually. So that's something I have accounted in my code. So these are the most important things from the parent component side of point of view. So hope this was helpful. You obviously have the V model for two-way binding. So whenever the user enters, like I have got this editable. So if you want to change the states, you can do, and then that reflects automatically in the UI. So if I change this, you can see things happening on the fly. That's because of V model bound to these fields, and then that in turn triggering the logic here in computed fields. So those are some of the important things. Hope it is useful. Thank you.